Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. Hey, I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering my favorite housewife show. It's number one, it's superior. I don't care what you got to say, but it is The Real Housewives of Miami. It is back, and I'm so glad. I've missed them. I missed them. I missed them. I love the cast. I love their dynamics. I love what they bring. There's no other show like it. They've been knocking it out of the park since the reboot, which happened, 2 seasons ago. I'm enjoying it and I'm loving it. Hopefully you are too, if you have not been watching, because it has been on the Peacock streaming service, but now it's moved over to Bravo. I'm iffy about that. I wish it stayed on Peacock. It just felt very special, and let's see what happens on Bravo. All right. I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video, share it also. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. Welcome back. If you are returning, thank you. Also, leave your comments in regards to the show and also my commentary. Let's get into it. This is season 6, episode 1, the season premiere. All right, so we have Alexia. She is reflecting over this past season, and now she's ready to be accountable and to get things in perspective to make up with the cast. She feels like the cast is kind of out of sync, and if anyone can do it, she can do it. We know how terrible Alexa was last season. She wasn't taking accountability for anything that she was saying. She was saying problematic things. People would bring stuff to her, and she'd act like she was still right. Many people compare her to Teresa off of the New Jersey Housewives. I see it, and actually, her and Teresa are pretty good friends. They're always out together with their significant loved ones or partners. I'll say it that way. And from what I've learned, Teresa don't care. She's gonna say what she has to say, and she's not gonna apologize for it, even if she was really in the wrong. So she's at the restaurant with Todd, and she's just talking over that she's got to get things together. She convinced Todd on his apology to Anthony and his behavior last year, but he ended up making a 9-minute apology on Instagram. I do remember that. It was way too much. I don't know what you're going to say in that time, but the only people that I know that would just talk that long and basically try to teach you something in the midst of it and just saying, I apologize or I'm sorry, is the Scott brothers off of Love and Marriage Huntsville, if you know anything about them. So yeah, Todd, that was too excessive, and I don't think that Anthony is a hard man, but to actually get an apology from, even though I had some issues with him on last season, but whatever. If it comes up this season, then I'll talk about it. But I did talk about it last season. It was on my old channel. I'm just kind of just starting fresh on this channel. But let's see. Alexa said that she's going to schedule a dinner at their home with the wives and their partners. And it's going to be labeled, she said the Spanish word, but I could not pronounce it. But basically it means New Horizons. They want a fresh start. They want a clean slate. So this is Alexa's show. I know that we praise other housewives on this franchise, but this is Alexia's show. So no matter how we like it, this is it. No one's actually stepped up to replace her. You can call other people queen and say it's their show, but no. Most of these people don't even get activated until somebody activates them, and they just stay behind. So here we go. All right, so we move on to the next scene with Larsa and Marcus, who is Michael Jordan's son. They've been dating for 10 months. This isn't a thing that Larsa says is for publicity. It was friendship that evolved into romance. That's her words. I'm not here to justify that. If she gives more history, or they both get more history, that would be cool. One thing I'm noticing thus far with Marcus, he's very active, and he's not shy or put away from the camera. Not in a bad way. It's like you can tell that he's an outgoing type of person, a personable person, and looks to be really there for Larsa. Lisa has also joined in, and with her new boo, Jody. Lisa's still not divorced. It's been a year, and she's been leaning on Jody as a support during this time. I think that's a large load for somebody just coming into a relationship, that you're helping a person get through and get over another person. I don't know how close these two are, but I guess that the relationship is good. Lisa says that Jody can relate to her because he has been divorced before too. So they're still going to be apartment looking. However, she's not really ready to move out of her house. At this point, let it all go, Larsa. But Lisa, but I do understand. Like, this has been your world, and you deserve some of the empire. Nicole and Anthony, they are at their new home because they sold their old house. This house cost them $21.5 million. They are renovating it right now. It's 10,500 square feet. Right now they are staying in their vacation home on Fisher Island. I think Fisher Island, could still be in the Miami area. It's got to be because Nicole works in the Miami-Dade County. But they have a vacation home up there that they're staying at until they get things renovated to their liking. A wedding is not in the the front of everything. Their priorities is just to get things done with the home. And now Nicole says that, ooh, is it Gavin? I forgot her child's name, but the child is a handful right now, so it's not. Now we thought, as we're learning Nicole, I think I'm starting to appreciate her more. I know people just go up for her wealth, and it's cool, and her success, and it's cool. I mean, I don't hate her, even though it seemed like that she got engaged just for the show. That's what it seemed like. Maybe I'm more used to it and just allowed it to sink in, but whatever. This is their new normal. Oh, also about this home, they have a 10-lot driveway. Now, remember, Anthony got all these cars. And remember last year, we were like, what? Where are they getting all these finances? I mean, well, I think he's a real estate broker or a lawyer. I think he's a lawyer. And then she's an anesthesiologist. So it's like, y'all making all that money? Like, they do other things as far as buying homes and flipping them. But it's like, okay, as far as the finances. But they are loaded. Anyway, Gertie arrives. They end up chatting, her and Nicole, and we find out that Nicole and Larsa are in a good place. And this is according to Nicole. They had a chat after the reunion, and now things are kind of well. Gertie says, oh, that's shocking. You're in a good place, and I am not with her. Then we flash back to last summer-ish or spring-ish, where Gertie did this interview saying that Larsa was fake. So there's an exchange between Larsa talking with Lisa and then also Gertie. Larsa doesn't understand where Gertie is coming from. I've never been fake with her. So Lisa was even agreeing with that. It's like, anything that I got to say to you, I'm going to say up front. Nicole asked, have you spoken to Larsa? And she said, no, I'm not really focused on that. She's defocused on a lot of things. And Nicole said that that's not you. So she was just asking, is there anything going on? She said, the only thing else that's going on is that she did her regular checkup, and she got her doctor is suggesting a biopsy. Nicole says that's not normal. If you just did something, they just want to check to see anything is okay. So there's nothing to worry about at this point. I do believe that Gertie is reaching, and we'll find out a little bit later how I'm going to explain things. Gertie does not communicate that well, and she uses, I think, the wrong words, especially when she's describing things. And specifically about Larsa, there was no beef, and it felt so strategic, like she was doing this for press, and Larsa feels that way too. So we see another scene where Gertie is with her husband, and I forgot his name right now. She took the test, and she said something's not throbbing right now. I don't know what all that means, but I've never had to get a biopsy either. So now we move on to Julia and Martina. We're finding out that Martina is out of the red as far as cancer. She's beat a throat and breast cancer. They're not going to be adopting any children. Of course, some of the animals come to the house, and she brings her goat, and the goat poops in the kitchen. Now, I have one friend, Trey, who is so obsessed with Julia. She's just his favorite. I'm like, I've always seen her to be weird. I think I started warming up to her by the second half of last season. It's just like she was just so goofy and odd and not really, how can I say this? I just didn't really see where she fit. But something flipped during the second half of the season for her. So let's see. She talks with Martina. Martina says that I think Julie was cooking something, and Martina was like, "Oh, you're finally having time to be a wife." I said, "Ooh, well, Julia's pretty busy, and Julia wasn't really occupied with the house and the home. Martina had her own thing too. She was traveling back and forth. She does all that tennis stuff. And Julia has this farm that's like 30 miles away or something. It's still in the Miami-Dade County or whatever. So, and then she didn't want to spend time at home. Remember last year, because she didn't have any children around, and she didn't see her purpose anymore, and that's why she wanted to adopt children anyways. Let's see. Julia says, she wants to try with Alexia. Alexia has been doing her due justice to kind of make things right with Julia, checking in on her and Martina. She says she wants to test the waters with her. She says her actions has showed that Alexia wanted to make things right. So it looks like we're going in the right direction. Alexia seems to be doing things good up to this point. We know how things can go left in this group. Not specifically Alexia, but she's a part of the issues. All right, so Lisa, she's getting all glammed up because she's going to her first deposition with Lenny, and I think Lenny and his lawyers. It's actually live. It's not a phone call or video call way. So, of course, this deposition, they don't really get anywhere. The fighting, she's fighting for just temporary marital support money, just to get from him, but they can't even get to the divorce as of yet. Lenny's gonna take her through the ringer. He really just wants to dump her off somewhere to be rid of her. But it's like she's been a wife for all this time, and you ripped the carpet from under her, even though I think it wasn't really ripped the way that it was supposed to be. But hey, so they talk about that. They go down to her and her lawyer go down to the courthouse or wherever they got to meet at. And from there, it was finally over. It took hours for that. Lisa's in her confessional, and Lenny is calling her, and Lisa has to call him for money, and calls to Vimo her some money. I said, "What type of mess is this?" I know he wants to leave a paper trail, which is good on his part. I can't blame him on that. I think, how can I say this? It's just really tacky. I mean, Lisa, you got 2 seasons worth of checks. Where are those going to from this show, from Bravo? Like, outside of Lenny, I would try to get some type of other income coming in. Like, you got to get some endorsements or something in. And I understand you're not used to working after all this time. You did work at one point, but it's like, ugh, that's a little bit, ugh. I didn't like that for her. All right, so Alexia, Marisol, and Kiki, they meet up for lunch. Kiki is dating, and of course, Kiki's supposed to be the comic relief of this group. And of course, something sexual is going to come out of her mouth. It's not, I don't know if I'd say it's just like Brand, because Brand is so Marilyn Monroe all the time from the New York franchise, but Kiki's different. I have my thoughts about her, and I told you last season, so we'll see how it goes with her. She says that she's dating a lot, and she has many, I think I can say this, cocks. Hopefully I can say this. And she also has 6 vibrators. Why? I mean, variety is pretty good, I guess, but okay. Again, Alexia is holding herself accountable, and she's getting the group together. Marisol asked if Adriana is invited. Adriana said at this point, I'm not really ready. It looks like we were going to move ahead, and then things with her put things at a standstill again. And Marisol said, I won't be there. She's done with her. You crossed me too many times. I think Marisol is very hung up on what this girl said about her ex. I know she has expressed it, that it did hurt her, but you're with a new man now. You're with a new man. I mean, I guess be hurt, but at the same time, it's like, okay. All right, so Julia and Alexia, they have lunch. They greet each other and all that good stuff, and Julia says, thank you for checking on me and on Martina. She's just really seeing the positivity that's coming from Alexia. She's liking them being friendly. Alexia says she's not saying that Marisol was the reason I wasn't really being friends, but she does feel like Marisol did have some influence in regards to it. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Of course, I wasn't really feeling Julia back then, so I didn't really care or really pay attention. I'm just present right now, and maybe that is the truth. I don't know. Alexia says, I think Julia asked after Alexia says, I'm hosting this dinner. They said, is Adriana invited? And Julia said, and Alexia says no. Alexia ends up going into, Marisol said that she will not be there if Adriana is there. And Julia says, well, why is one person the deciding factor if one person is going to be there? She's holding things up, and she's holding up progress. I agree. If the whole group wants to come together and to be a group again, one person don't stop no show, especially not a friend of. Now, Adriana is a friend of, but if Adriana wants to be there, then cool. I can't argue with that. I'm sorry. Basically, Julie says, I hope you do allow Adriana to come. So, the next meeting is with Adriana that Alexia has. Adriana comes with all the prompts and circumstances. She has this white flag, and Alexia's like, why are you doing all this? All these props and stuff just makes it worse. Just be yourself. Adriana was saying, I'm here to show everything that I'm really wanting to work on things. Adriana wants a scene and something to be memorable. Let's see. They end up apologizing to each other and just making things straight. I'm glad it wasn't here's an olive branch. Those olive branches really means that there's still roots still there that can be flared up and grown out again with some of these jokers. So I'm glad that it seems like they're in a better place. Alexia ends up inviting Adriana to her gathering. So after that, Alexia's like, I don't know how Marisol's going to take this, but I need Adriana there. So she calls Marisol. This is after Adriana leaves. And she tells Marisol, I invited Adriana, we apologize, and we're just setting things straight, And Marisol says, I don't want to be there. She also says that Todd is not going to be there. And they're like, well, what's going on there? well, I told him about the party, but he's like, well, they're going to bring up the whole apology thing, and I can't really deal with this. Da, 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 da. And Alexia doesn't know what's going on, and then she just bursts into tears, and she just asks Marisol, please be there, please come. Marisol still says, maybe. I really feel like Alexia was manipulating Marisol, and we really see the truth of things about it, and Marisol was controlling things within this friendship and how they moved within the group, because it's quite, ooh. That was a little cringy. No, Todd was not there, but you really had to cry and all this good stuff. It's like there's got to be something else there with Alexia and Todd. We're just not seeing it at this point. All right, so now it's Alexia's dinner. Some of the ladies are headed there. Adriana and Julia and Kiki are in the car together. Adriana all of a sudden just picks up and starts talking about the past. We did make up, but I do still feel like Alexia judges her, Adriana, because she has Todd and has this financial stability, and she thinks that she's better than everyone. I think that's all in your head, Adriana. You have been very pathetic these last 2 seasons. And again, towards the end of the second half of last season, you seem to be different, but at the same point, still seeing you, poor me, poor me. Of course, your husband left you and all that good stuff, or bad stuff, but you were just really like, stand up at this point. And Julia's getting annoyed because why are you going back to the past? I thought we were trying to move forward, and now you're bringing up this old stuff. You apologize whatever day that y'all met, and now you're acting this crazy. I get where Julia's coming from, because that's just stupid. But whatever. What's your name? Adriana. That's it. All right, so now we're at Alexia's dinner. Julia brings her eggs, as she normally does, to functions from her farm. Of course, everybody starts coming in. Larsa and Marcus, Lisa and Jody. Larsa ends up telling Lisa that she and Marcus saw Lenny out with his new girlfriend. When they saw them come in, Lenny and the girlfriend ended up moving, or ended up either moving or leaving or whatever. At this point, Larsa wants to confront Gertie because she has made it there, and she kind of just busted in on the scene. She created her own scene. It just said, "Why do you think that I'm fake?" Da, 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 da. Gertie starts saying, "Well, you were dismissive and you were butting in on different conversations I was having, and to me, you're fake." Those reasons that she was saying, this doesn't really make sense. She's like, well, as a friend of mine, I don't appreciate that, da, 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 but that don't make her fake. And that type of word is buzzword. It is a buzzword. And Larsa feels like she did it for press. Larsa ends up is escalating the situation and raising her voice. Gertie says, why are you raising your voice? I'm meeting your energy. I don't know if she was raising her voice, but how Gertie comes off anyways is kind of in your face sometimes, even from a distance. So maybe that's what she was thinking or feeling at the moment with Larsa. Gertie ends up walking away because I guess she don't feel heard. I think Larsa is just stuck on, and I'm still stuck on, why are you calling me fake? I've been there for you. I've always supported you. I did this. Da, 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 da. I think with Gertie, she don't say the right words. And maybe she should have said, I'm hurt that you've been dismissive of me. It's like you don't respect me. Now, other people in the group have done the same thing to Gertie because she doesn't make herself plain. And she talks in this circle, and then people are able to dismiss her. Is it right? No, but people don't respect you because of it. I don't know how to fix that for you, but I would see what to do for yourself for in the future so people can just be crazy towards you. That's just my opinion. So dinner has started and all that good stuff, and Marisol arrives, and Julie says, oh, good. Marisol's here. Alexia makes the speech of, this is supposed to be a new start, da 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 da. Todd's not here as he should have been. No, we're not getting a divorce. I'm like, where'd that come from, Alexia? Just some things he didn't feel right about, and Anthony, he doesn't feel some type of way towards you, da 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 da. So I don't want you to think it's that. It's like, you made it very awkward, Alexia. So what is really going on in your home? I think she said on Watch What Happens Live that they don't have any financial troubles. I don't know what's really going on because I didn't really watch What Happens Live like that, but I don't know about that. I don't know about that. So Alexia ends up announcing, I guess, thank God for Marisol being here as a support. Julia ends up speaking up. And I think for the first time, she's really working in a way where she's not just activated, but she's actually getting things started. And it's with Marisol. I don't really think that you're here with good intentions. You're here to harm your friend. Your friend is trying to reestablish relationships and get things right, but it's you that's kind of the bad influence over her. Da, da, da. Marisol was like, look, I'm here because my friend wanted me here. And you're here as a distraction and to do all this, da, 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 da. She's like, well, look, before anyone, I'm her best friend. I would be the first one coming over here before any of y'all, da, 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 da. Bertie ends up busting through and just saying, I don't really want to hear this. And everybody's like, well, what's going on? Gertie walks away. Larsa comes at her, comes over to her like, Kiki, what's going on? And why do you think I'm fake? Larsa's trying to start the whole conversation again. I just don't understand. And Gertie is talking in code that nobody really understands. I think Nicole ended up saying, is everything okay? Because she doesn't know at all either. She's like, she doesn't really say anything to Nicole. That's when Larsa and Gertie kind of just convene by themselves. Gertie's like, I need you to listen to me. I need you to be there for me. And Larsa said, of course, I'll be there. What's going on? What's up? It's really strange. Other people think it's strange how she's acting or whatever. So basically, Gertie wants to go. She talks to her husband about that. Let's go. Robert, I think is his name. So then we get a rewind the day before. They got biopsy results, and it looks like it's cancer. As we do know, that Gertie does have cancer. I think that she's gone through all the stages at this point, but we're about to go on this journey with her. And it's heartbreaking to see, especially someone of her personality, to have to go through this. So we're on a journey this season. I'm ready for it. Tell me your thoughts about it. Are you excited? Is there anyone that you like the most? Who you're rooting for? Who you stand for? Maybe not stand for, but you like. Anyone that you dislike? Let me know in the comments. But please like this video, share it, and again, subscribe to my channel. Until the next one, peace.